Hi everyone and welcome. In this video I'd like to update you all about this particular watch. Unfortunately, it stopped working after 8 years of almost daily use. This is really sad because I really like it and also because I recently did a nice little upgrade from this cheap NATO strap to this fancier looking leather strap. Let's get back to the watch itself and let's take a look at its issue. The movement is actually still working. The real problem is behind the winding mechanism that failed almost completely. Seems like there's some really worn out gear that is also responsible of the date and time setting. Looking back at a few comments that some of you kindly left on my first video almost a year ago at this point, I really appreciate it. It's clear that this particular problem is not that uncommon. Let's read together your comments. John Hannon says, I found that the auto wind did not keep the watch running, so I would wind it manually. After a while, the manual wind failed and the watch made noise when winding. I found that the crown wheel teeth were chewed up and the ratchet wheel was very loose. Christian Stoica says, I have had an identical experience. It was okay for a couple of months. Now the crown doesn't wind and it doesn't self-wind. So, looks like the winding mechanism of this watch is the weaker part. In the last few months, I also had to manually wind it more frequently. Then, this problem started to manifest. Now, let's take a closer look at the mechanism and let's see if we can spot the problem. Keep in mind that I am not an expert. This watch is cheap, old and already damaged, so I think we don't need to worry too much. The screw-down caseback was pretty easy to open. This gave me a clear view of the movement, but I couldn't see anything strange yet. Next, using the release mechanism, I easily removed the crown. Looks okay to me. I see no damage. Then I removed this plastic piece. Here I had to be careful because the movement is now completely free to move around inside the case. Suddenly I noticed something. A small piece of metal sticking out the same spot we removed the crown. Could this be the culprit we were looking for? Again, I'm not an expert and I don't think I can further disassemble this watch without destroying it, so it's time to put it back together. Testing it again, without that small piece I found, I see no difference. The problem is still exactly the same. That small piece of metal could be responsible of the correct actuation of the crown. Maybe at some point it came loose, and now of course removing it completely did not make any difference, since it was probably already moving around freely. I don't know much about watch movements, so I'd really like to know what do you guys think about it in the comment section down below. In conclusion, I still think that the winner A458 is worth its cheap price of around $20. It's a nice looking automatic watch and it keeps the time with reasonable precision. In my case, 8 years of use for something like $15 is pretty amazing, but I understand that some of you may be less lucky in terms of longevity. You have to buy it understanding that it's a bit of a gamble. Anyways, I'll just keep it somewhere for now and start using daily this beautiful IK coloring 98226G that I already reviewed in another video that you can find on this channel. I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.